OEM, I usually think of Skylines and Supras. I am a huge fan of the Supra, and it's because I've just always admired the design and how it looks, basically. And I used to always play it as my main car in Need for Speed Underground 2. And today, I'm actually graced with the presence of one of the units here in the Philippines. This is the 1993 Toyota Supra Mark IV. There aren't a lot of Mark IV Supras in the Philippines. A few years ago, I counted it with a friend just for fun. And there were around 20, I guess, or 25. But since then, there have been a few that have popped up on social media. And the count, I'm not really sure anymore, but one of them is right here. It's my friend's Supra. This features a wide body Redux kit. So this is actually one of the first Redux Supras in the Philippines. But due to some issues with one of the shops, another one was made, a red one, and it was released onto Philippine streets a bit earlier than this one. Regardless, this came out really good. The full body is Redux kit, except the wing. So the wing is, I'm not really sure if it's a stock wing or just OEM, but it looks really good for this kit. Over here at the back, we have the classic Mark IV Supra rear end, and if you guys notice, it's got a huge exhaust. I'm not really sure how well I can give you guys an idea how big this is, but this is my fist, and it's bigger than my fist, so it's loud. If you are the type to have neighbors who complain a lot, this is the right kind of car to start up in the morning to just give them a bit of a wake-up call. So, popping the hood now, we have the legendary... Oh, I can't find the latch. Okay, so under the hood. So right here we have the engine that needs no introduction. It is a 2JZ GTE inline 6 turbo. This is a non-VVTi engine, and it's sporting a stock tune. I think it's running about 290 horsepower. So compared to your usual Supras, well, it might be low compared to how social media paints it, but this is really just how the stock power of the Supra is, the Mark IV. And there's a bigger turbo on the way. It's coming, except I guess it's still taking a bit longer. But newer turbo coming, because this current turbo that it has, it's about to give, which is normal for cars of this age. Okay, now the interior. I did not realize it was this hard to, take a video of myself reviewing this car, but the interior is how you would expect a 30-year-old project car to be. So this is the interior of the Supra. I really appreciate yung design niya as it is. It is an old Japanese car, so it's not gonna be perfect. There are no creature comforts. It's minimal. It is it's a performance car, I guess, and literally no entertainment. So if you're gonna be driving around in this car, your source of entertainment will be the sound coming from the exhaust pipe, because as you can see, we have no head unit, which means no music for us. And even if there was a head unit, we have no output for the sound. So again, it's a 30-year-old car. It is a work in progress, but I think that it can definitely be something that can be driven often. Not daily, but often. If you guys can actually check over here, the aircon louvers are also louvers. They're also not here yet. I think they are still coming. So all the parts are being imported. I'm not really sure where, but other than that, the aircon is definitely cold. I have ridden in this thing a couple of times, and it's colder than my cars, and my car is a 2010 model. So the Mark IV Supra, family car ba siya? Pwede. Yung friend ko, nung nakuha nila sa shop to, tatlo sila. Kasama nila yung anak nila, and sumakay siya dito sa may likod. Pero, not suggested at all. Very tight. It's a tight squeeze. So this car, it's definitely for somebody who has no kids yet, or is at least a bit selfish. There's only room for the driver themselves and your passenger. So whoever it may be, your friend, your girlfriend, wife, whatever. Point is, there is no way you are fitting an entire family in here unless you're a family of 3. Now, for my favorite part, we will be driving around in the Supra. Fuck, the battery's out. Okay, I started the car. I don't know what happened. Again, 90s car. I was turning the key, didn't start. Now it started. Shitbox. Okay, so everything working well. We have aircon. Well, it's not really. It's not okay. So, yung aircon, you have to grab it from the bottom to get it working. It's, oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, I had to turn this knob. Here it is. So it's pretty cold for its age. Definitely good for when you're in the Philippine heat or you're in traffic. Okay, now comes the fun part. So we're gonna be driving the Supra, and well, one of the things that I don't like about the Supra, well, this one in particular, is when you're shifting to third, it hits this plastic right here. It just needs a bit of readjusting, but other than that, the car it's good. It works. Not a lot of feature comforts, like I said, but yeah, it works. It's fun. Okay, so we're gonna be driving it around now. So in terms of sound inside the cabin, it's pretty noisy. I don't think there's anything more we can do regarding the insulation, I guess, or what, the soundproofing, because if anything, the exhaust is just so loud. I can't imagine having any music in here. One of the things that my friend has been complaining about in this car is the under chassis. It has a bit of there's some locking in the suspension, and I'm not really sure if you guys can hear me since the engine is so loud, but this is really good. You're not really expecting comfort when you're driving this car because, well, it's a performance car. It is gonna have a rough ride. It's very low to the ground, very low ground clearance. And here in the Philippines, when you live in the Philippines, you have all these bumps on the road, the humps, and it's gonna scrape. Okay, so the Supra, it's not a rough ride. It's stiff. It's stiff, but in a good way. You know that you have control, but the gas pedal is just it's hard. When you're driving a car like this and it's a manual transmission, you'd expect that the clutch is going to be pretty hard to press. For this case, it's actually the gas pedal, so it's a bit stiff, and but you know, you get used to it. So the ride itself, pretty rough, but it's fun. Other than the fact that it's a bit rickety inside, and I think you can see from the video, like, I don't really have any stabilizers. It's pretty rough, but it's super fun to drive. This definitely works as a Sunday car or something, but is it something that I would be able to drive daily? Probably not. So one thing about the Supra, the gas pedal, it's a bit it doesn't really have a gray area where you can just drive a bit chill, or I don't know, maybe I got like really bad control. But once I press the gas, it really just revs. Okay, one of the issues that I encountered with this Supra is that I was going to turn right, just like I am now, and the turn signal is over here, since it was right-hand drive back in Japan. Earlier, I actually turned on the wipers by accident because, well, force of habit, I guess. But yeah, for this case, some peripherals are still set on right-hand drive. I guess it's also because of the print. So we can see that the print over there, it's facing here. If we put it on the right, it's gonna be upside down or facing the back. Okay, so we're about to head home. Driving this has been an absolute joy. Well, that's actually quite an understatement. Even though I am just driving the speed limit around our subdivision, it's actually been so fun, especially since you don't really get to drive a lot of cars like this anymore. They just don't make them like they used to. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that when you drive something like this and you go back to modern cars, you'll definitely miss the raw feeling of just you and the machine. Except, of course, the safety aspect of it. There are no airbags. So once you're in something like this, so in terms of safety, there are no airbags around here, even on the pillars. There is a roll cage that was installed by my friend, but other than that, you don't really have anything to protect you in the event of an accident. Maybe not you, maybe a different car hitting you, but other than that, it is such a treat to drive. Okay, now comes the hard part. I hope this just turns off on the first press. Oh, it did. Okay, good. That was awesome. Like I said before, it's still a work in progress, but it's gonna be finished soon, and I can't wait to see it driving around Philippine roads regularly. And that's about it for this review. See ya.